Hello, everybody. Welcome to Rally to Reunify 2024. We will be getting here started shortly. Thank you. All right, everybody. Welcome to our wonderful webinar, Rally to Reunify 2024. I would like to introduce Judd McNally.
Hi, everybody. My name is Colleen McNally, and I am a family reunification champion. Before I retired several years ago, I was the presiding juvenile court judge in Maricopa County, and I'm so pleased to be with you today as we celebrate our 10th year in Maricopa County of honoring Arizona families who successfully reunified. I've been here for every one of our celebrations, and I hope to be here for every celebration for the next 10 years and maybe even beyond. I wanted to tell you a little bit about Reunification Day. This is something that people all over the country are celebrating this month. June is Family Reunification Month. And it began by the American Bar Association started it. And it's always been, I think, in many places, a community collaboration. And that's what it is here in Arizona. We have CASAs, we have foster parents, we have the Department of Child Safety, we have community providers, we have tons of people you're going to see who's actually sponsored the event at the end. But it's a very kind of organic community endeavor. Our purpose of celebrating family reunification is set out in the slide you see here. We want to celebrate the accomplishments of the families who've overcome what we know have been very difficult circumstances many times to regain custody of their children and to reunify safely and successfully. We also want to recognize the vital role that the people who help them have in making that happen, including the service providers, the attorneys, the judges, the case managers, because we want to encourage them to keep doing the work that's necessary to help families to come back together. And one of the most important goals, I think, is we want to inspire parents who might be going through the recovery process right now, by seeing examples of others who are on the path before them, to see that it's possible to be successful and to reunify with their children. So I want to welcome everyone who's participating here today in this live virtual presentation, but I also want to welcome everyone who's watching this video later, because I think that's going to be probably the strongest impact of today's celebration, because our purpose, as I've said, to connect it to the national purpose, is really to honor these parents for their great achievements and to provide hope and inspiration to families that are working to reunify right now here in Arizona. Also to parents who are with their children but might be having a struggle or a difficulty that they need help with, and to all the professionals who work every day to help children and families. So a couple of notes before we start. We're in this webinar format. So if you aren't a presenter in the format, you won't be able to unmute yourselves or be on video for the presentation. But that doesn't mean that we don't want to hear from you. Please give us your feedback about the event in the email we're going to give you at the end. But also during the event, you have access to the chat, so you can put up emojis or put up comments as you like as people are presenting. And we really want to encourage everyone to stay connected to us through our website, which is also going to be provided to you if you don't have it already. Many have asked why we're doing a virtual event this year. We've all learned a lot of tough lessons during the pandemic, but one pleasant thing that we learned was that our honored parents felt more comfortable sharing their journeys in our virtual events. They didn't have to worry about getting up on a stage in a big room with a whole bunch of people, standing in front of a bunch of people. Um, and we hadn't really thought about that's probably a very difficult thing to do. But we have really strong parent leadership on our committee, and we're always looking for ways to improve the experience and the message. So that's why we're doing this virtual event, to really make it as comfortable as we can for the parents that are here. And so feel free to share this recording with anyone you think might benefit from it. That's the point of it. So my honor today is to introduce our MC to you for today's celebration, who is January Contreras. And I remember talking to one of my mentors, Judge Barbara Rodriguez Mundell, who said to me, "You don't know January? She is someone you definitely need to know." And that's what I have to say to you today. January is someone you definitely need to know. Throughout her career, she's focused on making Arizona a better place for children and families. She has served in leadership positions in state government at the Department of Health Services and Access. She was an advisor to Governor Janet Napolitano when she was our governor. She was a founder and executive of Always, which is the Arizona Legal Women and Youth Services law firm. It's a nonprofit law firm, and they serve vulnerable youth and trafficking survivors, and it's a true gem in our community. For a bit, we had to share her nationally when we had to let the rest of the country enjoy January's talents for a while, when the president appointed her as Assistant Secretary for Children and Families at the United States Department of Health and Human Services. And while she was there, she did very important work, strengthening childcare accessibility, child welfare prevention and safety, and working to help ensure that families not just safely survive, but thrive. And she did all that on a national level. But we're really glad to have her back here in Arizona, where we really need her. And since last December, she's been the Chief Executive Officer for the Children's Action Alliance, which CEO Lujan is very familiar with, having been in there also. This is an organization whose mission is to be an independent voice that eliminates barriers to the well-being of children and families and creates opportunities through partnerships and policy solutions. And to put that in easier to grab language, maybe, they use data, knowledge, and experience to persuade policymakers to do the right thing for families. Check out their website if you don't know about them, because there's tons of information there about our state and our representatives in relations to kids and families. So besides all of that, January is a lovely person. She has a great family. She's a loving mother herself, and I'm a huge fan of hers, both professionally and personally. So please help me welcome with emojis or silent claps or snaps or whatever, January Contreras.
Thank you, Judge McNally. That this honor is really mine to be a part of this. And any of you who know Judge McNally know how special she is. And, I love having colleagues in the work like her and everyone who's in this webinar, in this space, because the truth is Reunification Day is the single greatest celebration that can exist, because when supports and services and resiliency helps reunification happen with parents and kids, that's absolutely the best outcome that could possibly happen. And we get to support that where I am now at Children's Action Alliance, and we were working on that every day back in DC at the Administration for Children and Families. And here we have all these amazing people working with you and trying to support you so that we can have these wonderful stories that we have today. So I'm humbled by the intro, but I am definitely just humbled to be here, because the real stars are the parents. And it's amazing. Everyone has their own journey, but also that you're willing to share that journey so that other people can learn and be inspired and hang in there even through the most difficult of times. So thank you very much for allowing me to be a part of this. I have the privilege of emceeing the event. which means I get to introduce a lot of these great people and the wonderful parents that are a part of this. So we're going to start by acknowledging that our Governor Katie Hobbs, issued a proclamation recognizing June as Family Reunification Month here in Arizona. If you know our governor, you might know she actually spent her career as a social worker. So this is someone who comes to sign this proclamation, to share these words with you from a very familiar space, and someone who's been rooting for families and kids and their success, her entire career. So happy to show this recorded video from Governor Hobbs, who wants to share her message with you.
Hi, it's Governor Katie Hobbs. Although I couldn't join you all in person, I couldn't miss the opportunity to celebrate the pride and happiness that comes with Family Reunification Day, especially this year with the 10th anniversary of this event. As a social worker, I have seen the daily struggles parents face, and I know the road to get here has not been an easy one. When things get hard, it can be tempting to just give up altogether. But none of you did, and that is something worth celebrating. Of course, the reason none of you gave up is because of your beautiful children, your sons and daughters who bring such light and hope into the world every single day. As a mom, I know there is no feeling that can replace the joy that comes with seeing your child smile, watching them live out their dreams, and grow into the person they were meant to be. Hold on to that feeling and remember that when things get tough, our children make it all worth it. You have each set a great example, not only for your children, but for this entire community. And that is something to be extremely proud of. You represent exactly what it means to be an Arizonan. Never giving up, working hard to do what's right, and overcoming obstacles when they come your way. I also want to recognize the people who helped make today possible. The case managers, CASAs, attorneys, judges, and service providers who each had a role to play in keeping these families together. Congratulations to everyone, and enjoy the rest of the celebration.
So thank you to Governor Hobbs for sharing that message and for prioritizing the strength of families as she does her work. I'm now very happy to introduce David Lujan, who is the CEO of the Department of Child Safety. He's also the former leader of Children's Action Alliance, a longtime leader in our state, and someone who, we've been peers, friends, colleagues, and just soldiers in this work of trying to help Arizona's get ahead. So very happy to introduce CEO Lujan.
Thank you, January. Hi, everyone. It is truly an honor to be with all of you today, and I am so grateful for the opportunity to be able to participate in this event. I really want to just congratulate all of the parents and families today on successfully reunifying. I can't think of a more inspirational way to spend a Saturday is to spend it with all of you who have put in so much work and so much commitment really to really help strengthen your families and to really succeed for your children. And to me, I understand the hard work that it takes to be able to do that. We've already heard the word journey said a few times today, and it truly is a journey to be able to be that, to have that success, to be able to successfully reunify. I'm so glad that this event is being taped today because I hope to share it with all of our staff at DCS, because this event today really is representative of what every single one of the staff at DCS work for every single day, is to have these types of successful outcomes. And so I'm really looking forward to sharing this event today with all of our staff at DCS and the inspiration that will bring because of the work that all of you have done, the commitment. And I also want to thank everyone who's involved in helping you to be able to achieve that success. I've been in this role for a little more than a year now. And one thing I've learned is that it takes all of us working together to have that successful child welfare system in Arizona. So whether that is the nonprofit advocacy agencies, the faith community, judges, the state agencies, CASAs, all of the people that are involved in this process play a role in today's event and play a role in the successful reunifications. And so thank you all for the work that you put in to making today possible. And I also hope that it's not the last time that we are in touch, because, you know, one of our goals at DCS is to continually improve the work that we do so that more families can succeed and thrive. And we really want to create a culture and atmosphere where we are working together in a collaborative atmosphere with families, with children, to have those successful outcomes. And so the experiences that you've had in going through this process to be able to successfully reunify, I hope you will share those experiences, both the good things and the challenging things that you experience, because that will help us to be able to improve the process along the way, because we want more families and in even greater numbers to be able to celebrate Family Reunification Day in the future. And so really today is about you and the work you put in, the commitment, and just thank you for all that you've done, and thank you for allowing me to be a part of it. Thanks.
Thank you, CEO Lujan, for really grateful for your leadership and glad to have you share your message with everyone today. So now I'm honored to introduce Felicia Galaz, who is a reunification hero herself. She's here to share some of her story. But she was the very first parent recognized at the inaugural family reunification event back in 2014. So it's exciting, and I'm glad to witness her come back 10 years later to share a little bit about her story and to help inspire others along the way.
Hi, everybody. I hope you guys can hear me okay. My name is Felicia, and it is truly an honor to be here with you. So bear with me while I kind of get through this. My story began about 14 years ago when I found out I was pregnant for the first time. My first time going in prenatal care at 8 months. My doctor ran a drug screen and saw that it was positive. That was the start of my journey. My daughter Taylor was born with marijuana in her system and had methamphetamines in her system throughout most of my pregnancy. When we were released from the hospital, my grandparents had temporary guardianship with Taylor. About 6 months later, I relapsed, and Taylor was taken out of the home and placed into foster care until paternal grandparents stepped in so that my daughter could be with family. You would have thought that my daughter being taken would have been an eye-opener for me to get clean and get myself together. However, that is not what happened. To be honest, I feel like that just gave me more of an excuse to continue using. Not long after Taylor was placed with family, I found out I was pregnant again. How was I, a drug addict with nothing, supposed to get my daughter and keep a baby I was pregnant with? I didn't think that that was possible. Until May 17th, 2011, I was found pregnant, sleeping on the side of 27th Avenue in Camelback and next to the Jack in the Box, with only a bag of clothes. When my brother found me, he threw my bag in the car, took me home, fed me, had me shower, and said, "Get some sleep. We'll talk about what's next in the morning." That was the day I decided, no matter what, I'm not giving up. I'm not going to allow my children to grow up in the same system I grew up in. It was time to put my big girl pants on and step up. Not only did my daughter and my unborn child deserve that, but I did too. About 2 months later, I checked myself into a 12-month treatment facility for pregnant women. Finally, I was able to get visitation back with Taylor. I dropped UAs every week, even when I wasn't required to. One-on-one therapy, group therapy, trauma therapy, parenting classes, and I also worked a 12-step program. All just to prove that I could be a fit parent and reunify with my daughter and keep my unborn son. I say hope because the odds were against me. My case manager told the judge she did not want to move forward with reunification, but instead severance. She believed that even though I was in treatment, seeking help, that I was not a fit parent and nothing I did was going to change that. By the grace of God, my judge said, I understand. However, I'm going to give her one more chance. The judge looked at me and said, Felicia, everyone makes mistakes, and I believe in second chances. And in your case, third. I'm willing to allow reunification. Just know that this is your last chance. I am truly grateful that she's seen something in me. I know that without the judge and the wonderful lawyer that I had, I would have lost my children for good. Finally, after a long battle of almost 2 years, May 2012, I graduated from treatment. The following month, June 2012, I received full legal custody of my daughter, Taylor. I was able to keep my son that I had during treatment. June 2014, I was one of the first recipients to be recognized at this beautiful event. I am truly grateful for those that have supported me through such a rough time. For those family going through this now, remember that you are not alone. It's okay to ask for help. Asking for help could be the change that you need. This journey is hard, it's frustrating, it's stressful, but it's very purposeful, rewarding, and very significant. This journey is the beginning of the rest of your life and your children's life. Today, I am proud to say that I am 13 years clean with 6 beautiful children, a wonderful husband, and I am truly honored and celebrate the continuous hard work all of you families have put in. Thank you. I know how difficult that can be. And thank you for allowing me to be a part of something so special.
Thank you, Felicia. And we see your guest with you. We're just, you inspire all of us, and absolutely that's the heart of the reason that we're here in this day. So thank you for leadership and being willing to share and all that you've gone through and having your little ones with you. I now have the privilege of introducing Lindsay Shine. Shine is the co-chair of the Family Reunification Day Committee. She's one of the many parent allies. So you'll hear that term a few times today. Parent allies, meaning those who choose to then stay involved and be involved with informing so that the system can keep getting better and doing better by parents. She's one of the many parent allies that help plan and organize this event every year. And we're very thrilled that she's here today to share her story with all of you.
Hey there, and thank you so much, Felicia, for kicking us off. It's great to see you as always. And good afternoon, everyone. I hope that this finds you well and surrounded by the warmth of your loved ones, whether they're near or far. Today we gather virtually. We're linked not just by our screens, but we're also linked by our resilience, our love, and the unbreakable bonds of family. As a member of the Family Reunification Day Planning Committee, since our 2021 celebration, I've had the privilege of witnessing countless stories of courage and triumph. Each one of us is a testament to the strength of the human spirit and the power of love to overcome the greatest of obstacles. For me, this journey is personal. I know the pain of separation, the ache of longing for your kids, and their sounds echoing through the halls of an empty home. It's a journey that I wouldn't wish on anyone, yet it shaped me in ways that I could have never imagined and am thankful for. I was very lost, and I remember praying to God to remove my addictions and all of my uncertainties. And He answered my prayers by sending me through the fire. It broke me down, and honestly, I lost everything, including my sense of self and pride. But it allowed me to rebuild into a person who today knows who I am and what I stand for. Through the darkness, there was light. The road was long and it was full of many hurdles. And all of us who have reunified have pushed forward, fueled by the love that we have for our children. To each and every one of us, I offer my deepest respect and admiration. Our journey is a testament to the power of the human spirit, and your presence here today fills me with overwhelming gratitude. Together, we're more than just survivors. We're warriors, champions of love, and beacons of hope for those who are still walking the path that we once were on. And as we gather today to celebrate Family Reunification Day, let's never forget the strength that lies within each and every one of us. So here's to us, our resilience, our courage, and our determination to never give up, no matter the odds. May we continue to walk this journey together, hand in hand, knowing that as long as we have each other, we can overcome anything. I want to give a special shout out to the Family Involvement Center. They helped me immensely when I was walking through my path and when I felt the most lost. Also to Family Treatment Court. When I first started, Judge McNally was actually a judge on Family Treatment Court, and it was really the first time that I ever felt heard and understood and seen inside of a courthouse. We had Commissioner Allen after that. He was absolutely fantastic, and Commissioner Lang, I miss all of them. And I can really say that that helped me get through those times, as well as finding other people, sometimes from the most unexpected of places, finding people who would be in my corner, who would even just say, I believe in you. You know, I can remember many conversations where those people probably don't remember. It was just another Tuesday for them years and years ago. But, you know, those conversations that I had really carried me through, and I hold them near and dear to my heart today. And I'm just really thankful and blessed for the relationship that I'm able to have with my children and with my community. So once again, thank you everyone for being here today. It's absolutely wonderful to have everyone here.
Thank you so much, Lindsay. Again, thank you for your leadership in choosing to, be front and center in this way to lead the path for others, and for sharing your inspirational story. In addition to Lindsay, a co-chair of the Family Reunification Day is Samara Vaught. And Samara is here, another parent ally who will share some of her story, who was a 2019 reunification hero. And so I'll turn it over to our parent leader, Samara.
Thank you, January. Oh, Lindsay, that's a hard one to follow up on. Glad to be here. This is my second year being a part of the Family Reunification Day Committee, and it is truly an honor to celebrate these families. My journey started way before the department got involved in 2019. I lost a child in 2003, and that was the beginning of my drug use and countless toxic relationships. It was in 2019, I lost my mother, and the department, I have 4 kids, I have 4 kids, but 3 of them were not in the home. They were older. And I had a 9-year-old, and my drug use had escalated quite immensely, and I was in a terrible relationship. Lots of domestic violence episodes had happened, and I had an investigator come knock on my door. And at first I tried to just blow it off and act like it wasn't happening. And she sat down with me and looked at me as I was a human being. And we got to talk about what I needed and what was going on in my family. And that was the first time that I was able to ask for help and really be honest and vulnerable about what was going on behind doors. It was easy to fake outside in the world, but what was happening on the inside was very damaging, not just to myself, but of course to my child. So I got a number of services through the department. They were one of my biggest cheerleaders next to them and the foster parent that my daughter was placed with. I got services that were geared for me, for what I needed. I wasn't a cookie cutter family. They didn't just throw me into services. We talked about what I could use and what would help my situation. The Family Resource Center I was connected with, one of the first things you need to change when you're in addiction is people, places, and things. And being connected to a family resource center helped me make new connections with healthy people. And I'm still connected to some of those supports to this day. So my story, I'm just really thankful to the department. If they hadn't stepped in and treated me like a human, and if that investigator and my ongoing didn't have conversations with me rather than talking at me, I would not be where I'm at today. I've been a parent ally for about 2 years now, the Family Involvement Center. I've been clean off of meth since November 4th, 2019, still going strong, not even thinking about looking back. Oh, I'm so proud of myself. Yes, but I just owe it all a lot to the department and to the family resource centers, but the department and my foster family were there for me. And it wasn't easy. Don't get me wrong. It wasn't easy. It wasn't a walk in the park. But one of the things that they helped me the most with is trying to leave a domestic violence relationship with someone that would not leave me alone. My daughter was able to be into a safe place, a safe home. While I did end up going to a shelter that could not accept children. And I knew that she was safe. And my foster family communicated with me so that I knew I was able to be a part of all of her services and all the things going on with her. And if I didn't have that hope that things were going to be okay, I don't know that I would be here today. And so going forward, I just want to normalize asking for help. I want to help increase their system knowledge to be able to ask for what they need. And just to be honest and vulnerable, it is my goal with families going forward. Thank you.
Thank you, Samara. And you mentioned you're proud of yourself, everybody here, obviously. And that's just amazing that you're out there giving that pat on the back to other parents. And
yes, thank you.
That hope. I have the privilege now of introducing Christy Dupree, who is a 2020 reunification hero. She's a parent ally with the Family Involvement Center, which we've heard a little bit about, and also a member of the Parent Reunification Committee. So thank you very much, Christy. I'm grateful that you could be here and share some of your journey.
Thanks for having me. Welcome, everybody. Happy Saturday. We made it to another Saturday and another Family Reunification Day event. My story is a little bit different than a lot of people. Back in 2019, everything caught up to me, not only my untreated mental health, but my drug addiction as well. I'm a mother to 4 amazing kids. This is my absolute favorite picture of them. This was their first day of school 2 years ago, and I still show everybody this picture like it's current. But yeah, everything had caught up to me. I had a pretty rough life growing up. I also aged out of the Arizona foster care system. So I kind of got to a point where I didn't know what I wanted, but I knew I needed to change. And so my solution to that was called the Department of Child Safety on myself. I made a very brave phone call that day that ended up changing my life for the absolute best it's ever been. But it was the hardest phone call I've ever made. My kids were in care for about a year and 2 months, and that gave me the much needed time to really focus on myself. I didn't know who I was at that time. I didn't know what I wanted. I just knew I didn't want to be what I was anymore. And everybody that I surrounded myself with, you know, they all used, and that was what we did, right? We grew up that way. There was not anybody that I knew of in my circle that got sober. So once I made the call, I jumped right in head first. I went to all my classes. I went to all my meetings. I remember taking the bus for hours and hours in the middle of the summer, walking miles, you know, to drop drug tests, just whatever was needed to be done, I had to do, because I had to break the cycle. I didn't know it while I was doing it, but now looking back, I'm able to see like, oh, this was just more than personal, right? Like this was something I knew was on my shoulders that I had to break within my family, you know, many generations of it. So I rose to the occasion. I jumped right into 12 steps. I ended up there on a court card. My judge wanted me to go check out a couple different meetings, and I stuck with one that I'm still 5 years, almost 5 years later, involved with. I get to be of service to them. They're helping me, they're help raising me. I like to say, you know, I'm growing up in the rooms of the 12 step that I'm in, and I don't know where I would be without that. So I mean, what I feel like impacted me most, I think everybody in this system plays a crucial role, right, in these parents' life. In the beginning, I was very standoffish. I didn't really know what type of guidance I needed. But now looking back, I'm able to see each person I met throughout this process was planting a seed. You know, some of it was faith, some of it was hope, some of it was change. Everybody had their own seed to plant within my brain. And I just kept showing up. Some days I didn't know why I was doing the stuff I was doing. You know, why am I even going here? Why am I talking to this person? But it landed me into the job that I'm in today. You know, funny story. It was a DCS case aide that told me to apply for the scholarship program through the Family Involvement Center. And this is the longest job I've ever had. I love this job. I tell them all the time I would do it for free. I don't want to, but I would. And it's just, it continues to change my life. Every parent that I work with, I now get the privilege and the honor to, you know, walk with families that are currently going through DCS, as an ever-changing system, right? We're all kind of seeing how everything's changing, it's moving in the right direction. So what better help am I to, you know, guide the parents through it today? So what's working today, I would say because of my sobriety, because I trusted God in my darkest, deepest, you know, moments. I now, and my dedication as well, I now get to serve the parents through the beautiful state of Arizona, and I now have a seat at the table. You know, I get to be a piece of the change making. You know, I get to buy into this. I get to, you know, not only do the work, but I get to show the parents, you know, what they can do after their DCS case. If you ever would have told me I would have got, you know, one of the jobs of my dreams through my DCS case, I never would have believed you. So it's an absolute honor to be here today and share my story. And I look forward to all the parents that come after us, because we're excited for you guys to jump on board and be a part of the change. So thank you for having me.
Thank you so much, Christy. I hope everyone's reading the chat comments, because you're all getting all this love. It's my pleasure now to introduce Melissa Scriber, who is also a 2020 reunification hero. We see another photo there, and we're very grateful to have her with us and to share some of her story today.
Hi, thank you. Thanks for having me. It really is such a huge honor to be a part of this. So I was in a really hard spot, obviously, like most people when they get involved with DCS. DCS was originally involved with in my life for my 4 older children. And so I have 5 children total. The youngest is Jeremiah, who's pictured. And I was going through a trial for severance when I gave birth to Jeremiah, and they did sever my rights to my 4 children and ended up taking Jeremiah at birth. And then about 2 weeks later, they gave Jeremiah back to me and created a separate case for him, allowing me to take him home. My case was very strict. One of the strictest that I was told that the center where I lived in a program called Center for Hope that they had ever seen in their entire time of being open. And then, my guardian ad litem, who had given me the opportunity to take my son home, said, we're going to be rough on you. This is not your first case, and you just lost a severance trial. So had a lot of challenges that I faced during the reunification process with Jeremiah. Obviously missing my other kids and just trying to find the strength and hope and perseverance to just keep going and to get out of my depression. I did lose Jeremiah one other time. During this time, my case was, the main focus was undiagnosed, like unaddressed mental health, and then a recent relapse that I had, and then domestic violence. So they did take him when he was 3 months old again. So along with just some of the other challenges I faced was just kind of dealing with, like I said, I dealt with a lot of depression, obviously racing time, just trying to hurry up and get my case to be finished and not really wanting to, I don't want to jump through these hoops. I just want to hurry up and just do it. Just give me my kids back, or just give me my son back right at this point. And then just missing time were a lot of the struggles that I dealt with. But one of the things that I had to do, that the thing that I struggled with the most, was getting out of my denial and into a place of acceptance of change. I was in denial. I did anything wrong. But I did still make mistakes. I obviously made mistakes that had gotten DCS involved, and it took me a long time. It obviously took me over 2 years of my prior case to realize that and own up to that and say, okay, I made these mistakes. And be open to getting that help and to step out of that denial and into freedom and say, I need to go get this actual help. So by the time I had my case with Jeremiah, I was ready for that change, and I had surrendered to the process. I still had challenges with my mental health. Like I said, I did go into a hospital stint for about a week while he was 3 months old, so I was still battling my mental health. I had obviously the grief of losing my children and additional losses of that. And then a very strict case on top of that was all very wearing. But I was grateful for my program through Center for Hope and just all the support that I did not have during my prior case. I think gaining support, healthy support, is just one of the biggest things that we can do for ourselves going through this. If you try to go through it alone, like I did, or with unhealthy support, it just is not going to get you anywhere. You have to have an army behind you. And that's what I ended up building, was an army of support with the women at the center and my therapist and the staff, my GAL supporting me. Having that support just completely changed the whole scenario of my case. So, having sponsors as well, just getting that support behind you. In my new case for Jeremiah, once I went into that inpatient, it was just really key that I did that. So some of the things that I've kind of accomplished once I graduated Center for Hope, they helped me graduate peer support, actually helped me get my job as a case manager for the past 3 years, where I got to work at another rehab and help women just like me. They helped me get into the home that I have now, and I'm finishing my degree in psychology, which I'll graduate next month in. So planning on continuing my journey to help women who are fighting this system, just because that is my passion. And so the biggest thing that I can say to people who are going through this is to just give up, right? Each and every day, just take it one day at a time. That is the most cliche statement. People would say that to me, and I'm like, well, duh. But trust that everything will be okay in the end. And if it's not okay, it's not the end. Nothing changes if nothing changes, though. You have to put in the work. And I went into every day in my program and asked myself, what can I learn today? You can always learn something from a group, a therapist, a case aide. I learned something just from even arguing with a roommate, because I learned how to use effective communication skills. Like, okay, what can I learn from this? Nothing is wasted in this journey if you're allowing to let yourself learn from it. So you just have to have your heart and mind open to that change and growth and learning, and you will see a new, beautiful, better, and happy you that your family deserves. My strength definitely came from God on the days I felt I couldn't go on anymore. And then again, I leaned into my support. But you have to change that mindset. If you stay negative, it's just going to bring you to that dark place. So I had to live with the joy that came from a deeper place than myself, like to not be discouraged, trusting in something bigger and better than me would happen for my good and the good of my son. And when my son came back to me, I would be able to show him that joy because I'm healing, which is something I've never done before. I've never healed from all the trauma that I've been through in my life. I just numbed it with toxic relationships and drugs or whatever else I could find, or my own anger. So my hope is that even on your darkest days, you're able to find a blessing, hope, encouragement. Don't quit before your miracle happens. Someone told me that as well. And I was like, well, how stupid would that be if I quit right before my miracle happened? So just hang on for one more second, because it would be ridiculous to quit right before you get that miracle. So one day your story is going to be someone else's survival guide. Hurts are never wasted. The fact that you're here still fighting already means that you're a warrior and strong and courageous. I pray that you will take advantage of being able to work on yourselves, heal, grow, and enjoy the glow up. I can't wait until you're all reunited with your babies, and God bless all of you. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much, Melissa. Everyone just so inspiring and has so much to teach to others who are going through this very difficult journey. It's my pleasure now to introduce Veronica Bellos, who is going to share some words with us and who herself is a 2021 reunification hero.
Hi, everybody. I am Veronica Bellis, and I am also a parent ally with the Family Involvement Center. My journey started I want to say it started in 2019. I was pregnant. I found out I was pregnant with my last child, and I knew I needed to get clean. I had struggled with substance use most of my life, and I had already had DCS in my life with a previous child. So this round, I saw it coming before it came. And this amazing lady came into my life, and she sat me down and listened to me and started, like even just showing me what like opening up looked like. I didn't even know how to open up. I didn't know how to talk to anybody. I didn't know how to ask for help. I didn't know how to get myself out of the situation that I was in. And so she pretty much sat me down for a good, I want to say at least 6 months, and all we did was talk and process. And sorry, I'm gonna cry. I'm gonna get emotional. I always get emotional with the support. The support that she gave was amazing, and it's exactly what I needed, and it's what God sent for that reason. I got a process for that 6 months. And by the time DCS stepped into my life, they came in the same way. It was such an amazing experience. I just remember my DCS case manager coming into my home and telling me, that I didn't need to be so much on guard, that all she wanted to do was talk with me and have conversations with me and help me, that she didn't want to separate me and my children. And that's exactly what she did. She didn't separate us. She gave me the opportunity to do in-home with my children. And I just was open after that. I surrendered. I completely surrendered. I said, do whatever you want to do with me. I need the services. I need the help. And she also gave me the ability to advocate for what I needed, what I thought I needed for my own personal healing journey. And I think that's a big piece of why I am successful today, is because I was able to finally dive into what I thought I needed. You know what I mean? What I thought was going to help me. And then that mentor ended up leaving, and another mentor came in, and she was a different kind of mentor. She got me moving. She got me moving. She got me doing stuff. She got me out of the house. She just had me, you know, I always lean on that scripture with when I think of her, is that faith without works is dead. You know what I mean? I believed in something greater than me, but I also had to move with him in order for the miracle to happen. And that mentor was amazing as well. Both of them were amazing. And then they DCS stepped out of my life, and I knew Lindsay Shine from CFH, and she had put a flyer out on Facebook about Family Involvement Center. And I was like, that's it. I got to keep going. That's my next journey. And I jumped in to be a parent ally. And these women here, Christy, Samara, Crystal, Anna, Monica, Lindsay, they've been amazing mentors as well. They've taught me so many things. They've also got me moving. They've also got me just learning the job and how I can better support others, because that's been a big part of the healing journey as well, is how to give back, right? And to be of service to others. And when you process with parents that are going through similar journeys, you're able to heal a little bit more of yourself. And so, yeah, I just, it's an honor to be here, and thank you so much for hearing my story.
So much, Veronica. We appreciate it. And, you know, we hear the beautiful sounds in the background. So thank you. Thanks for your leadership and for being a part of all of this great work. I now have the privilege of introducing Judge Rogers. He's from the Maricopa Superior Court with the juvenile bench, and we're very glad to have him with us today.
All right. Thank you, everybody. I want to tell you what an honor and privilege it is to be able to be here and be a part of this celebration today. As a judge that presides over dependency cases every day, I'm the one who gets to issue orders that make reunification final in many cases. But a lot of times those orders come as a result of emotion. And so I just sign the order. I never get to see the family. And even in cases where I get to see the family, I have a very short window to be able to tell them what's happening, take an opportunity to talk to them, commend them for what they've done, and saying a word of encouragement as they move forward in their lives. So what I don't ever get to do really is I don't ever get a chance to see them afterwards. So being a part of this, being able to be a part of this, hear the stories, see all the people that are involved in it, is an encouragement to me. Actually, all these stories that you hear that are inspirations to you, because they've walked similar journeys, they're an inspiration to me too. As a judge, we hope that the part we play in this whole process is helping to change lives. That's what we want to see happen, and to see the lives change and to hear these stories, it helps me continue to do what I'm doing and to do it better. So I appreciate that, and I want to thank everybody that's on the panel that's told their story, because it's powerful. And so yeah, it is a privilege for me to be able to come here to be able to celebrate the victories of the Reunify families. I want to add my congratulations to everybody here. Reunification, it's the outcome of the majority of dependency cases, and it's the outcome that we all want to see take place. Parents, kids, judges, attorneys, caseworkers, everybody involved in the system, they want to see this happen. And I know it doesn't feel like that sometimes, but that is the goal. That is what everybody has in mind when we get into these cases. But as each of you know, because you've been through the process, getting to reunification is not always easy. It requires a lot of hard work and perseverance. We've heard the stories here, and each one of you that's here today to celebrate your reunification, you've got your own story. And it's not easy. There are a lot of moving parts. There are a lot of people involved. There are a lot of different services and actions that are often being required of you. And there are often numerous obstacles, and there's oftentimes setbacks along the way. I'm sure that everybody here faced some of those. And I don't know everything that everybody here faced, but I know that each one of you did the hard things. You made your way through the obstacles. You picked yourself up after the setbacks. And in the end, you made it to the finish line. And for that, all of us in the court system that are part of the juvenile system, we commend you. And I know that your families and your children thank you. And you've earned a lot. You've earned a lot from your hard work. You've earned a transformed family. You're stronger, you're more stable, you're more understanding, and you're more compassionate. You're providing a better home and a better life for your children. And I think, as we've heard from the other panelists, the stories from the successes here, I believe you've gained a better sense of and appreciation for your community, those who have supported you through all of this, and we're hoping, praying, and working for your success. As many have said here, you're not alone, and we don't want you to feel alone. And with that comes the responsibility that comes with it too, because just as you were given that support, it provides you now the opportunity, having gone through these hard things, you have the chance to help and serve others, to walk alongside of others that you know who may be going through similar circumstances, similar hard things. And we see the examples of that on our panel and the stories we've heard here. So all of this is something to be commended and celebrated, and that's why we're here today. So again, I want to congratulate everybody here for all that you've achieved. And I just want to encourage you to continue forward in your journey, because the journey still continues. After the dependency case is gone, the journey still continues. The journey forward now, but you're doing it in renewed strength. A strength you've gained through going through hard things, making it through hard things as individuals and as families. So continue forward in all of that, in that renewed strength, and continue forward just as all these panelists that we've listened to have done, and inspire others and give them the hope they need in their journeys. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, Judge Rogers. Everyone very much appreciates you being here today and allowing these words to continue to inform and change hearts and minds, and in all the work that everyone does here in Arizona. I now have the privilege of introducing words from Crystal Garduno, who is a 2016 reunification hero.
Hi, my name is Crystal. I am a mother of 4 amazing children. I did have an open DCS case in 2012, and I reunified with my children February of 2016. The The reason DCS came into my life was allegations of domestic violence and substance use, which was very much true at that season in my life. There was 5 years of domestic violence happening in my home, and I didn't know that it was as dangerous as outside people thought that it was. It was pretty much normal to me, and it became normal to my children. So, as much as I didn't want other people asking questions in my family's home, it was the safest thing for my children at that time. I did not know that I was as sick as I was when DCS entered my life. I was very much angry, lonely, definitely tired. I was feeling myself with drugs and alcohol. I had no hope. I had no hope, and then my children were removed. It took me a really long time for me to get my kids back, because I didn't know there was families out there that could navigate a system and live a healthy lifestyle. I didn't plan on stopping what I was doing. I didn't have anybody to lead the way. Until one day there was a twist in my story that I met this lady, and she was a judge for a drug court that I was participating in. And she looked at me with the most kindest eyes. Her name is actually Colleen McNally, Judge McNally. And this was a judge with a robe, and she was important, and she looked at me as an equal. She looked at me like a human, and it changed my life. I didn't have very much self-esteem then in my journey. Like I said, I didn't have support. I didn't have love. I didn't have healthy relationships. And once I had one person to believe in me and to tell me that, what do you need from us? How can we help you? It changed my world. At that point in my life, I didn't have healthy supports. And I just started learning from attending this drug court. It was called Family Treatment Court. And they supported me, and they were celebrating me, and I felt like a winner. And I became a better person because of it. I became a better person and a better mother because someone believed in me. And since then, I haven't left. I've been continuing this promise of hope and helping other parents navigate systems. I work for the Family Involvement Center, and I give hope and assistance to them in any way that I can, even if it's just a listening ear. All my kids are in my care, and they're really amazing. Through the entire process, I can say that I didn't give a lot of people chances. I felt like I had to keep to myself out of safety, and that was because of my trauma. I thought everything that I was going to say could be held against me in some type of way. But that one safe place that I did have was Family Treatment Court. So if there's any words of guidance that I could offer anybody experiencing having DCS in their life, or having an open dependency case, being separated from their family, and feeling as though it's them. I was once there. And because I reached out and I allowed other people to help me in those times, and I learned from my peers, I have never went back to unhealthy behaviors because of it. Like I haven't put a drug, a substance in my body since. And it's only helped me to leave those things down, to not pick them up, to not place them in my body, to not alter my mind. And for any families that are out there that are separated right now, there's hope. There's definitely hope, because I was somebody that made it from the bottom. I know what it's like to get out of that hole. Um, and it's really awesome to be able to help others. So keep trying, always show up, cherish the small moments with your children, and believe in yourself. Believe in yourself because change is possible. Yeah. So just keep doing the best you can with what you have and keep learning, because when we learn more, we do better. So that's what I have to say today. Thank you.
Our thanks to Crystal for sharing her story. And I don't think it's a surprise to most of us for her to mention Judge McNally, knowing who Judge McNally is. Thank you to Crystal for all she's doing and for stopping to record those words for us. I now have the honor of introducing Carmen Bettis. Carmen is a 2022 reunification hero, and we're excited to have her with us and grateful that you're here with us. Share,
Hi.
educate others.
Hi. I'm so thankful to be here and to be present. I definitely had phone issues, so I'm very thankful to be here. I'm Carmen, for everybody that doesn't know me. I have 3 kids, two of which I had a DCS case on. Sorry, my kids are in the background. Back when I first started with my DCS case, I was not doing the greatest in life. Definitely domestic violence was very much present. My allegations were neglect, domestic violence, and possible sales of drugs. And I'm not gonna say they weren't lying, but I'm not gonna say everything they accused me of was true. For the most part, it was true. I was not around very great influences. I come from a family of drug addicts, hustlers, people that try to cheat the system, so I feel like back then I didn't have the correct guidance. I didn't have support. I didn't really have family. Like, I'm adopted. So a lot of my family is incarcerated. Really all I've ever known is being in and out of jail since adolescence. So when I got to, you know, got that knock at the door, it was DCS. They were like, hey, we want to come in. We want to see your kids. I was like terrified. Like, I was so scared. I didn't know what was going on. I didn't want them to come in. It was just really hard for me because I didn't understand, why they were there. I didn't understand, what I was doing in my life wasn't what I should have been doing. I was a new mom. I was young. I had my first son at 18. Um, I'm 24 now with 3 kids, one of which never got the chance to be in DCS custody. And I think really that's what helped me. They took my kids, I want to say in 2020. They took, no, excuse me, sorry. I've had 8 cases total, a lot of which were just dropped. The last one was the biggest one, because I have domestic violence in my life with my kids' biological family. So, with, the things that I was going through, I thought by me not allowing my kids around that family who had no problems putting their hands on me in front of them, and I'm talking like from my baby daddy's mother, sister, him, his family, you know what I mean? And I didn't really know what it was like to have respect or to love or to be loved. So I thought that was love, and I always try to make things work with them. And um, when DCS came into my life, sorry, it gets very emotional because it was very hard. It was very much an eye opener. The way they came in, I got violated. I was on IPS, which is intense probation services. I had just graduated off ankle monitor. Um, my sentence for probation was 6 years. And when I violated, I knew I screwed up. I had nothing to hide. I was helping my biological mother, who was, like I told you guys previously, a drug addict. She was fresh out of prison. The last time I seen her was when I was 7. So of course, any child would want to be able to reunify with their parent who birthed them and, tried to raise them. And so I gave her a chance back in 2020, is when I met her when she got out. And she ended up relapsing. I got a really good job at Days Hotel in Mesa. I was the desk clerk there. And I got her a job doing house cleaning because, felonies, you can't really get a lot of places with certain ones she has. So it was amazing to know that my manager was willing to give her that chance. And in a way, today I am in counseling still because I kind of blame myself for bringing her to that type of environment. Because if you know Mesa, they kind of struggle with drug addicts. They're everywhere, but um, that particular part of town was, I guess, not so good for her. Long story short, I ended up violating because I allowed my PO to go into my house while I wasn't there. I was working. And she told me I needed to leave work. I needed to come now, that she needed to see me. So I was pretty scared. I got there. There was US Marshals, the FBI, Homeland Security, like everybody was there. My house got raided. Immediately when I walked up, I was put in handcuffs. My kids were on the balcony and looking down at me, crying. They watched their mom get arrested. That is relevant today because that moment, the fear I seen in my kids' eyes is what's kept me going, is what's kept me pushing, is what's kept me to stay involved with the Family Involvement Center as much as I can to help people in my own personal life that I know dealing with similar situations. It brings me joy being able to help them walk their journey. I'm not a parent ally. I do strive to be one day, because I feel like this is, something I'm really passionate about, watching people not struggle, but go through the struggle to be a better person today. Um, I think it's going to be 2.5 years now since my case has closed. I've reunified, and my baby's going to be 6, and my daughter just turned 5. So they're both 5 right now, which is really cool. Um, and, I'm just taking it day by day. I currently have a sister incarcerated who I'm trying to help with, and I've been getting help through the Family Involvement Center. You guys have never, stopped letting me join. I know it's sporadic, but it does help me, and I wouldn't have been able to do it without my parent ally when I first started. Her name was Renee. She's no longer with us today, but um I was one of those like, you can't help me. I already got him taken. I give up, and then she's like, that's okay. I can. We can do this. We can do this together. And I forget her name, but the lady that conducts our visits for our groups like Mama Bears, she always has been a positive influence in my life. So is Crystal and Lindsay and all of you guys. So just don't give up because it can be done. It's very much possible. Um, if anyone struggles with substance abuses, definitely get the help that you guys need. You know what I mean? I don't feel like it's an addiction. I more feel like it's a sickness. I feel like anybody can do it. Anybody can get clean. Everyone deserves to feel love and be loved and love others and know what that feeling is like. And I really didn't feel what love was till the very first moment I had my son. And I finally knew what it was like to be loved, to be needed, to feel important. And I never gave up. I always had people telling me, you're young, give up. You don't need these kids. You have a whole life ahead of you. Just leave them to the system. And I just couldn't. I just could not. I grew up in the system. Um, got adopted when I was 8. So I kind of have been in DCS all my life growing up. And I never wanted that for none of my family members, my kids, any of my friends. So I just say take it day by day. It's very possible. Just love yourself. You cannot help anyone else if you can't help yourself. You cannot love anyone else unless you love yourself. And my judge was very hard on me. My case moved to severance and adoption for a whole 6 months. I was told that I wasn't going to get them, that I should just give up, that, I wasn't being able to engage because I got pregnant while having my kids in DCS. Again, I was going through a lot, It was wilding out as us young people say. And basically, uh, me, it's so funny. Me getting arrested, not knowing where my kids were, was the ultimate eye opener. Like that, that fear of not knowing where your kids are really is like, dude, you need to get your shit together. You need to pull your head out of your ass. You know, you're not doing what you need to right now. Like I had to be hard on myself because I had no one, not even my adoptive family at the time wanted anything to do with me. You know what I mean? So without the parent ally program, I probably wouldn't have been able to reunify with my kids. So thank you guys. And I love my kids and I love you guys all, and don't give up. And I'm here for anyone, mom friends or anything that you guys want. You know, I'm here for it all. And my last thing is definitely, even when your case is closed, stay in touch with people, stay in contact. It does get lonely after your case is closed because you do get a lot of judgment from people like, oh, you had DCS, you lost your kids, you're POS of a mother, you know. But it's not true. It's not true at all. We're great parents. We're good people. We never gave up, and that's what's important here today.
Thank you so much, Carmen. I'm sure you're seeing
Sorry,
it.
I hate being emotional,
Yeah.
but
As you said, you got
it's
so much love. You're getting all the love back in this space. So thank you so much.
thank you guys. I'm so glad to be here. Thank you, Lindsay. Thank you, Renee, even though you're not here. Thank you, all of you. Crystal, I love you.
Thank you. I now have the privilege of sharing some words from Danica Rodriguez. Danica is a 2023 reunification hero, and she recorded a message to share with everyone today.
Hello, everyone. My name is Danica Rodriguez, and I wanted to take a few minutes to kind of talk about my DCS experience, the whole process, the reunification process, everything that I've learned, all the information that I've gained. It was definitely not a pleasant experience by any means, but it was one that was extremely beneficial to my children and my family, and we needed it. And DCS entered my life in March of 2021, and my case was closed, and the kids were reunified November of 2022. So I kind of went through this whole the process. I ran into a few hiccups, along the way, but overall, DCS was definitely the experience. I really needed the help and the support and the resources and the knowledge that they were able to provide me and the children. DCS was involved in my life because of severe domestic violence, and it was on both sides. It wasn't just him, but I think that I was a little bit in the beginning of my case, or my experience with DCS. I was a little bit in denial. I felt like I didn't need the help. This was a waste of time. I didn't need to take parenting classes. But overall, I am still definitely in communication with my DCS worker, even though my case is closed. These people have become to be my friends. The resources and the services they provided, they're pretty much, I want to say that they saved my life. It wasn't a fun process, but through all of the support and the resources and the parenting classes and all the knowledge I was able to pick up on how to be a better parent. It was definitely a struggle. It was not easy, but in the end, they saved my life, and I fought and I got up every single day and I did everything that was required of me. And there's days that it wasn't easy. There was days that I had parenting classes, I had nurturing parents, I had family connections, I had therapy sessions, I had court dates, I had to UA. I mean, the whole process, it was a little bit of a pain, but definitely forever, this experience will change my life, and not only my life, my kids' lives. DCS helped me, open up my eyes and be a better person. And a lot of the things that they required of me, I was just doing my best. And I always thought that, being a good parent was just to provide for your kids, but it's not even just to provide for their physical needs. It's also their emotional needs. And without DCS, I don't know where I would be today or where my children would be. So we are definitely thankful for every class, everything was just super beneficial. And I wanted to get on and share that sometimes there is light at the end of the tunnel. And yeah, that's pretty much my experience with DCS. In the beginning, I just thought that the people didn't know what they were talking about. But, towards the middle and the end, you notice a change, and you notice that, you're picking up a lot of good that came from this experience. And, I just wanted to get on here and talk about, my experience. And an update with the children and I is, we have put that chapter behind us. We have completed everything that we need to complete. We are definitely in a lot better place after they left our lives than when we were when they came in. So, I wish everybody the best of luck, and don't give up, and, just be open-minded about the whole experience, because, it's not always bad. They do come in and they do some good. So thank you for your time.
Thanks so much to Danica for sharing her advice and a little bit of her journey. I now have the privilege of introducing Ana Ochoa, who is going to also share some recorded words about the importance of reunification. So that's Ana Ochoa.
When that first happens, when you hear what's going to happen, and your kids aren't being home, kind of what's that feeling?
It is hopelessness, fear, resentment, not towards this situation, because it was something that I needed to take full responsibility, and did. It's scary, scary. Your children do need you. Your children need you to fight that fight. They're also fighting that fight with you, so just keep up the good work. Keep going. Don't let go. That's all I gotta say. I met the best probation officer, and she's the one that fed me all these resources, parenting classes, and she's showed me and I showed her. So thanks to her, I'm here with my children. She turned my life around. I was released and I was like, oh no, one more person to beat me with a wand. But no, she showed me different, and I hope she sees this, because I just want to thank her so much, because she opened that huge door of support, and also my tarot's counselors. They were great.
When you hear, okay, this is gonna happen, I can make this.
Oh man, I was in disbelief. Like, did I really do this? Like, I was so happy, relieved, surprised, because this my story, like I said, it's a little different, and I was able to break those obstacles and those barriers that nobody was able to quite get there yet.
Thank you so much to Ana Ochoa. And I see the comments in the chat, so I know that many of you must have had her touch your life in some way as well. You have touched each other's. I will turn it over to Lindsay Shine. I want to thank you for just the honor of being here with you and having the privilege of emceeing this, and the themes that we heard over and over: love, faith, hope. What's it like to be hopelessness? Tears and laughter, perseverance. And I want just to share with you that in my 8 years of legal aid work, I had 2 moms call me, and their first question was, if I give my kids to child welfare, can I get them back when I'm ready? And we avoided that. We walked backwards. We put them in touch with services that they needed. But I wish, and maybe if there's a link, I can have this video on hand for the moms that enter our world and the parents that enter our world who feel that hopelessness, like backed into a corner with nowhere else to go. Because what we heard today was how many paths there are out of that corner. So again, thank you so much. I'm really honored to turn it over to Lindsay Shine, the co-chair of the Family Reunification Day Committee. Thank you.
Yeah, and thank you so much to you as well, January. It was absolutely amazing to have you here with us today. We really appreciate your time with us. I want to extend a special thank you to everyone who's been a part of our planning committee for keeping the momentum going and keeping our families near and dear to their hearts. This has been a collaboration of people from many, many different talents coming together to honor us and to build our reunification community. And I want to definitely acknowledge our committee's co-chair, Simone, for her outstanding leadership and dedication towards our cause. Much like us, she is a great force to be reckoned with. So thank you, Simone, and to our committee. And to all the families out there who've walked this journey, we want to invite you to join us for a day of celebration and joy at our upcoming in-person family fun event. It's going to be at Sky Zone in Phoenix on Camelback Road. That will be Saturday, October 12th from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. So please share this with anyone else you know who's reunified after experiencing DCS. The year that they reunified doesn't matter. We just want as many people as we can to show up and have fun with us. This is a no-cost event, but you must register in advance by scanning the QR code that we have available. So check your screens for that. Lunch will be provided. There's going to be socks, and jumping is going to be included with the registration. And we sincerely hope that you can join us for an unforgettable day filled with laughter, food, and prizes. Thank you so much for being a part of our community, for sharing your stories, and for reminding us that no matter how challenging the road may be, we're never alone as long as we have each other. Thank you so much to everyone for taking time out of your Saturdays to be here with us. This is a very, very meaningful thing. And I'm just deeply grateful to everyone who's, joined us through this. And can we see the QR code so that people can screenshot or scan it? There we go. So save that and share it with your friends. And we hope to see everyone with us that day. Some new faces as well. Oh, and if we want to go back, I'd love to highlight some of our sponsors. That's going to be the Maricopa Court Teams, the Arizona Department of Child Safety, Voices for CASA Children, the Governor's Office of Youth, Faith, and Family. We have the Maricopa County Office of the Public Advocate, Prevent Child Abuse Arizona, City of Grace, the Corning Foundation, Family Involvement Center, the Open Hearts, and Casey Family Programs. So once again, without our sponsors, none of this would have been possible. So for our sponsors, our committee, our attendees, just thank you so much for helping make this a beautiful celebration. We really appreciate you. And we hope to see you there in October.
I'm going to be there with all my 3 kids.
And here we have some of our current allies, many of whom are recognized today.